Having breakout scenes in Return of the Jedi Speeder Chase and in Mandalorian Season 1 Race for the Child on Navarro, the 74Z speeder bikes have been synonymous with the Empire since the 1980s. In this video, we will be painting and learning the speeder bikes for Star Wars Legion, hopefully allowing you to create some high-paced action scenes on the tabletop. Let's start with painting up these speeder bikes for your army.
So here's the thing. I've actually already done a little bit of paint work on these speeder bikes before. All I did was a bit of brown, wasn't even the right color brown, and then some green on what seems to be like the thing at the back, almost like the pack, you know what I mean? I put some white on the Scout Troopers, and I just pretty much doused them in Nuln Oil with a little bit of black paint just here and there, but it's nothing incredible. So we're going to pretty much repaint all of them now. And yeah, so first thing we're going to aim and do is try and get the right brown. It's a bit more of a darker brown. The brown I had on there originally was like a lighter brown. So that's going to be step number one. Now that's done. And I'm happy with the brown. We're going to go over all the mechanical bits with a black. I didn't know if it was either black or like gunmetal gray, like almost like a mechanical gray, but it is definitely black. So just going over the panel, the front two prongs and everything like that. Now there is meant to actually be a gun located on the bottom of the speeder bikes. Mine do not have that. I have no idea where that has been placed. So they are meant to be in, I just paint them in black if you have them. Next step, we're going to focus on the Scout Troopers. So the Scout Troopers have black pants and almost black arms with black gloves. Everything else on them is like a whitish color, except for the visor itself and the pistol. So we're going to go ahead and make sure all that is all blacked in with, I'm just going to use a Baden black. You can use any type of black paint. And then after that, we're going to focus on the white. Now that's blacked in, we're going to go ahead with some very, very light gray all over the parts of the Scout Troopers that are the armor parts. They're strange kind of, I don't know what's called in Star Wars, like plasteel or something, plasteel armor. I don't really know, but anyway, it's basically just plastic. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and whiten all the areas. So yeah, the knees, the boots, the chest, arms, helmet, everything. So we're going to highlight the armor using half gray, half white, just in all the parts to be hit by the sun. So all the upper parts, and that will kind of bring out the armor a little bit more. Now using black, just make sure that the visor is all blacked in. You really want to take your time with this one, but if you do end up getting any black on any areas you don't want, you can always go back over with gray, and that's all fine. And next thing we're going to do is going to make sure that our I guess it's like a roll, I guess like a camping roll at the back is going to be whatever color you want. I chose dark green, so just make sure that's all colored in. I'm going to give it a little bit of highlights now. Next we'll be painting in the base. So yeah, you can really do this any color you want. I'm going to be giving it some Astro Granite at the moment, technical paint from Citadel. That way it makes it not so just like flat, but just be careful to not get any paint in the little indent recesses at the front and back of the plates, because you need them for your aiming while you're playing with your speeders in game. As one of our last steps, we're going to be using some color on the base. I'm going to be using XV88, almost like a mustard-like color, just over the whole thing to make it kind of pop with the speed bikes. Lastly, I'm just going to dry brush some brown on the ground to kind of give it a bit more three-dimensionality. That's not really a word, but yeah, it'll just make it look better. So just using a tiny little bit of brown paint, just dry brushing that ground area. True last step here is I seem to get a little bit of paint just on the rim here. So I'm just going to go ahead with some black paint and just paint all around the rims of these speeders. And there you have it. We have the Empire's speeder bikes all painted up. And yeah, now we're going to go ahead and learn about how to actually play them in Star Wars Legion. That's going to be our plan next.
Here's some stuff you need to know about vehicle units that we will cover now. Firstly, displacement doesn't exist anymore, and every vehicle unit can now perform a free 90-degree pivot on its activation. Vehicle units move differently than standard trooper units and must adhere to their notch bases. When moving, make sure that your movement tool is snugly inside the notch part from part of the base. Vehicles have a few other need-to-know features when it comes to movement too. Vehicle units can perform a reverse movement where you place your movement tool inside the rear notch of the base. When you reverse, you also reduce your movement speed by 1 to a minimum of 1 speed. Many vehicle weapons rely on front-facing and rear-facing cones to where the model is located, so vehicle units can pivot on the spot up to 90 degrees of where it's located. The 74Z speeder bikes are an 80-point unit with a single comms upgrade slot. It's a 2 mini unit with 3 health per model and no resilience value, meaning that you don't need to worry about vehicle damage tokens. It has surge to hit on attack, surge to defense, and uses a white defense die. The speeder bikes have 3 speed movement, very quick. In terms of inbuilt keywords, there is 2 we need to cover. Cover 1 allows you to improve your cover by 1 when defending against an attack. This is probably for thematic reasons, being that it will be super hard to hit these guys speeding past at their max speed. Speeder 1 allows you to ignore any terrain that's at height 1 or lower. You also need to perform a compulsory free move either when you start or end your activation. You need to use the full length of the movement tool. However, if you can't, then you can move as far as you can along the movement ruler, that's fine. Let's talk about weapons. The EC-17 Holdout Blaster is a 1 to 2 range 2 black dice weapon with no keywords. This is the small pistol you can see the Scout Trooper is using in the unit card picture. The AX-20 Blaster Cannon is a 1 to 3 range, 1 red, 1 black, and 1 white attack weapon. This weapon is fixed front, so you must shoot it in your front cone of your unit's leader's base. Impact 1 means that if the opponent you're attacking has the armor keyword, then change up to 1 hit result to a critical. It's time we talk about comms upgrades. First of all, long range comlink has been removed from the game. That's the only comms upgrade that comes with the base set. However, in the standalone 74Z Speeder expansion, we have Comms Jammer. Comms Jammer is 5 points, and any enemy at range 1 cannot be issued orders unless they are issuing an order to themselves. Now, the speeder bikes, it's a bit like the Bark Speeder in terms of points. I really don't think I'd use comms upgrades on the speeders. However, the speeders are a quick and fragile unit that has a decent 2 red, 2 black, and 2 white attack dice. So with up to 3 range, you can get in, do some damage, and then get out. But if there's something I would recommend, then it would be actually subscribing to the channel and liking the video if you enjoyed. Now, thanks very much for making it this far. Next up for Star Wars Legion, we have the last support unit from the core sets, the Droidekas, the Destroyers. I'm really not looking forward to building these guys again. I seriously think they're probably the most complex models in the entire range, but alas, I will do it, and it'll just be fine. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.